Yesterday, we uploaded a Freestyle the News video, which was our best performing video in weeks, and YouTube Content ID took it down. There was a copyright claim for 8 seconds of footage by the US Tennis Association because we were trying to show context of what happened between Coco Gauff and Siegmund. It's incredibly frustrating because our views were down because we had a small hiatus during Evo when I was doing music for Evo. So we've been trying to get our content operation back up and running. And oh, hey, look, this video is performing really, really well. It seems like we're getting people to come back to the channel. The algorithm is working for us. And then bam, for some stupid fucking reason, our video was taken down. Now, within the law, I'm pretty sure we qualify for fair use. We are being transformative about the footage. We are commenting on it. We are talking about it. But apparently, the U.S. Tennis Association doesn't see it that way and disputed the claim. And if I appeal it anymore, it's going to result in a copyright strike on our channel, which will be detrimental to our channel. It would be great if we could trim out that 8 seconds of footage. Fine. I'm more than willing to trim that out. But when contacting YouTube, I found out that because we disputed the claim, like because we even just said like, hey, this might be fair use, now we don't even have the option to trim out that piece of footage. The video just dies. The fuck? There are so many issues with the YouTube Content ID system, and I'm going to include the video that we have at the end of this little section that we're doing right now. That's my way around it, and I'll cut out the fucking 8 seconds that I needed to fucking cut out. But I really need to make it like utterly clear how bad the YouTube Content ID system is for creators and for musicians. It's bad. It's not great. As somebody who does music for a living, that's how I pay my rent, that's how my life is now, it is detrimental to so many aspects of just work. I'll give you an example. It's not only on YouTube. A TikTok has a similar system with Content ID. If I activate TikTok on DistroKid for certain songs, even if I own the song, TikTok will take it down. I had a song go viral on TikTok before I met Phil, and there was a video I'd uploaded of it. It was great. It was doing really, really well on TikTok. And as soon as I uploaded that song, like within like about a month or two of uploading that song to DistroKid, TikTok removed the audio from the original video. And so now that viral song lost momentum, even though I was uploading it so I could capitalize on that momentum. And it's because Content ID works off of bots and sound tags. And that is a system that's rife with manipulation, rife with very impersonal like framework that doesn't work for anybody involved and makes the whole situation 10 to 20 times worse. And it's not just smaller channels, it's bigger channels. When I was working closely with Phil, one of the videos that we had got hit with a copyright claim. And as soon as it got hit, Phil was like, what the fuck is going on? Because they'd never had a music copyright claim happen before. But I, as a musician, have had that happen multiple times. Because when you buy a beat, a lot of times, for some reason, some people are like going to these houses that copyright claim or Content ID beats. And so it'll just immediately Content ID a beat as soon as it goes up. And that hurts your video metrics, it hurts your monetization, all these other issues. And it scared the shit out of Phil and the rest of the team. It put my job in jeopardy because, oh God, we can't get a copyright strike on the channel. Like they don't even have a good way to like differentiate between a strike and a claim. Some people think that they're the same thing. All that to say, like I hate this system because Content ID is operated in the most obtuse fucking way. Musicians have been sounding this alarm for 10 plus years, and you know, it's fucking with our content. I'm just mad because this thing I worked on for hours, man. Like Freestyle the News takes a lot of work, man. 8 seconds of footage, which by the legal framework would be fair use, is gone because of either some intern at the Tennis Association or some bot. It's just a bunch of bullshit. And even talking with YouTube support was I'm sorry, it was just unhelpful. There are some people with YouTube contacts. When I was at Phil's, we had a YouTube contact, but this guy was reading off of a script. And even when I asked him like, hey, is there a way to get a YouTube contact? like when I worked at Phil. He said, like, I don't know. That's not, we don't do that. Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, I'm pretty upset. I'm not in a good mood. I want to thank you guys for supporting the work we do and rocking with us, even though like some of these structures make it hard. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. I'm going to include the freestyle of the news that we did yesterday at the end of this video. But yeah, YouTube Content ID sucks. It is bad for creators. It's bad for YouTube. There needs to be a better way we do this, or at least a better process in getting this shit done, or like appealing this shit, or having more control over how this copyright stuff works than is there, because it feels like it's just put together with tape and hopes and dreams to have all of us be able to do this thing that we love to do. Also, fuck the U.S. Tennis Association. Y'all delaying my serve like you did for Coco when Laura was being shitty about it. So, hope y'all are well. Here we go. Freestyle the news!
Sorry, did you want to get immersed in our world? Yeah, well, guess what? Fucking pronouns! Fucking gender ambiguity!
Let's go! Your world ended at some pronouns. Tomatoes getting rotten, got $50, just hold out. You go now, established from politicians who roll out younger and younger, saying they hungry until they vote down. It's all green, first it was Ida and now it's all Lee. Hunter getting Trump by the prosecutor to stall plea. Gossip is for suckers, but Joby divorcing Sophie. Assassinating characters, TMZ him like Britney. Coco gotta wait and you serve. You acting petty while they chanting something probably worse. Another strike they shutting down, you gotta pay if they work. It's getting hotter than the chip that might just kill if they burn. You'll never learn, come on. Workplace toxic, Fallon looking awful. Theo Von saying how Cass Media got you. Stealing all the money, now CoffeeZilla can spot you. Danny Masterson just got his Halloween costume, it's orange. Wake up, the age is starting to look important. You got a trend so that single singer become a chorus. We still got fights over climate and stalling for abortion. Even with the criminal, we ain't sure about the peak performance. North Korea, Russian arms, money goes to Shah Rukh Khan. Kendrick throwing shots at jail like French and Big Sean. Clash, like Mr. Beast vs. Jack. Shots fired like ladies hiding guns in their gut fat. What the fuck, man? Starlink shutting down Ukraine plans. Fire festival, but instead it looked like a burn man. Ashton sending letters with Mila trying to save Dan. Apologizing after no ukulele to save brand. Nah, fam. Get out of pocket like your podcast. Upping the price on a new iPhone when they call Max. All facts. I'm just trying to make it at the stadium before I meet some dude who said he walked from Pennsylvania. Oh.
Pronouns! Pronouns!
Too soon? You should be in jail. Jail is where you should. Oh, okay. Hey, yo, what weird gossip column reality are we currently living in right now? Hey, thank you guys so much for watching Freestyle the News. If you like what you heard, real quickly, can you roll a D20 to attack that like button? Okay, natural 20. So you raise your mouse clicker to the top of your screen, staring down the like button, which stares back at fury as well as helplessness, and you bring it down just with this immense, powerful force and smack that like button so hard that it reverberates throughout the screen, and you can hear cracks like it's like hockey from Luffy, right? Just bursting through the YouTube algorithm to other videos on the Zaid Tabani and even the Philip DeFranco channels. And then you pull your hand back from the mouse button, go to your keyboard and leave a comment about your favorite bar. Or I'll let you handle it. How would you hit the like button with a critical D20? This is the nerdiest one I've done. First off, I gotta mention, thank you for everybody for the well wishes about my grandfather. If you didn't know, my grandfather passed away earlier this week, Junaid Joffrey. It has been a very intense roller coaster of a year, you guys. So my grandfather was 93 years old. He was an incredible person. Really sweet, really kind, lived in Pakistan, served in the Pakistani Navy, as a commander. He served as a captain in the Merchant Navy. When I was 7, he got shot in the head 3 times and lived, and was just it wasn't even a big deal. He was just that guy. He was that guy. He suffered a stroke a month or 2 ago and came back and was just recovering. He was doing really, really well, to the point where my mom would call him and be like, hey, are you doing okay? He's like, no, I'm fine. How are you? How are you doing, Shamama? Which again, he was that guy. He was him. I feel a lot of pride in talking about that man. Also, I kind of look like him, but I have to lose weight to just get that physique. But anyway, rest in peace, Nana. I love you. I aspire every day to be like the example you've set for me and my brother and sister. Anyway, let's just jump into the breakdown. And I meant what I said. This week felt like it was possessed by a rogue TMZ headline. But it was just a week filled with tea overflowing from all directions. Let's start out with Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. At the beginning of the week, we found out that Joe Jonas was divorcing Sophie Turner after 4 years of marriage. Multiple reports came out saying different things like, oh, the kids are living with Joe, Sophie wants to relive her youth. There was a report saying that their marriage was irrevocably damaged. And a lot of different stories came out from different sources, leading many to believe like, oh, Joe, what kind of PR campaign are you running right now ahead of this divorce? Because a lot of the stories seem to be about Sophie. And so naturally the internet was like, yo, fuck Joe Jonas. And all hell broke loose. Tons of people coming to Sophie's defense. Tons of people also reporting other reasons why they might have broke up. Like Sophie would put all of the cups on a high shelf that Joe couldn't reach because he's so short. Just shots fired in all directions. Eventually they released a Instagram story statement or whatever saying like, hey, we're both going through this. We need privacy. But cat's out of the bag at that point. Everybody's just kind of, the pitchforks are out, guys. Joe is still, to this day, getting burned over what could be a PR campaign or could not be a PR campaign. I don't fucking know. All I know is that right after that, I heard that US Open winner Coco Gauff, in her match against Laura Siegmund, had a very, very interesting moment because Laura was doing a bunch of weird ass shit. If you didn't know, Coco is this up-and-coming 19-year-old tennis star and My Hero Academia stan. And Laura is a veteran of tennis, 2-time Grand Slam champion. List of accolades, but it's looking essentially like Coco was kind of gonna take this one. And so Laura starts doing a bunch of sus-ass shit, like going to get a drink of water during a serve, randomly sitting down in the middle of the match, delaying Coco's serves. And the ref is fucking doing nothing. Coco finally complains to the ref. The audience is clearly on Coco's side, booing Laura. And then afterwards, Laura does this giant crying session at the press conference like, I'm not a bad person, I'm a good guy. Why do people hate me?
I'm definitely not a villain.
Because you were doing some sus-ass shit, Laura. And some sites kind of reported on, I'm sorry, I have to say it, white woman tears, and other sites reported on what was going on. That Coco was calling out some shit that was really just not okay with tennis decorum, and the ref wasn't helping. But anyway, that's in the past. Coco won. Wait, there's more. Somebody else at the Alexander Zverev US Open match started doing a Hitler chant, which is fucking, bro. Obviously a huge controversy. He was promptly thrown out. And then we got back to, no, there is more. Jimmy Fallon was accused of having a toxic workplace. There were crying rooms. There were accusations about his temper and his preparedness. He sometimes shows up like he's drunk to work. Jimmy apologized to his workers and his staff, but this isn't the first time Jimmy has had controversy with the Tonight Show staff. There was a lot of controversy around the time when the strike started about, whether he was gonna pay his staff because the show was halting production. But anyway, that's where we are right now. But wait, no. I'm still not fucking done. Danny Masterson got convicted of rape on 2 counts of rape, and a bunch of actors sent in letters of support of Danny Masterson's character, 2 of them being Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, saying he's an extraordinary father, he's a role model, and obviously this brought insane amounts of backlash because they're defending a convicted rapist, and that backlash for, hey, you guys defended a convicted rapist spiraled into, hey, by the way, Ashton, did you murder your ex-girlfriend? What the fuck? There was a point when Ashton tried to go out with a woman, Ashley Ellerin, and he showed up at the house and she was dead. She was killed by the Hollywood Ripper. But Ashton's ex is implying that he may know something about, okay, this is just fucking messy. It's getting to QAnon levels. All right, okay, let's start here. Number one, if Joe Jonas is doing a PR campaign, that's in really bad taste, Joe. Don't fucking do that. But also, I don't think discussing celebrity lives like that and feeding more into that fire is great for other people in that story, particularly Sophie Turner and her kids. It's great for people to feel support, but it's very quick for that support to become gossipy and very transactional. So it becomes very scary when it's around gossip that support happens. It's not great to see a huge personal traumatic part of your life played out over headlines because you know what that support Sophie's getting. She's also getting a lot of backlash from shitty people. That's not great. Coco Gauff won. That's great. Laura Siegmund was clearly in the wrong. That's fucked up. Late night is a difficult place to work, but Jimmy Fallon has had a lot of issues with his ship for a while, as has a lot of other late night TV hosts. It seems like a like a pervasive industry problem that needs to be solved. I would not put it past other late night hosts also having maybe not the exact same problem, but other similar work environment problems. And that's a really bad look by Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, but it kind of leads me to my point that it's not surprising, not because they're shitty people, but because they're human. The thing about gossip with celebrities and all of these kind of figures is that the Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis thing is obviously like fucked up. You should not have written that letter. I'm sure they presumed like he was probably innocent, but dude. And it doesn't help that Bijou Phillips was mocking the victims as well. I think the main thing that I take away from all of these stories overall is this. It crushes down human flaws into popcorn narratives. This person is a selfish, PR machine, Machiavellian scheming person, and this is a doe-eyed, cute babe in the woods. And it's very easy for that to be flipped and more backlash to come to that babe in the woods and more support to come to that other person. And I just don't like people playing with human beings like that. Yes, these are public-facing figures, and that is part of the game, but there is a relishing in that gossip that I just don't like. Like, I found this forum called Foul Moi on Reddit, which I didn't know was there, and the amount of people who are just digesting personal gossip and continuing to gossip about celebrities on there was a little terrifying, because that's like why Twitter sucks. Like, you know, that's like why, like, the amount of gossip and the messiness is why, like, things like Twitter, we hate those kind of things. But it's like actively supported and people are actively seeking it out. I don't know, man. I feel like gossip has gotten to this point where it is toxic to kind of participate in, because we think we're supporting things like with the Mila and Ashton story. We think we're supporting things like, hey, hold people who defend rapists accountable. But really, the way that story plays out in the media is it becomes a story about Mila and Ashton and not about the underlying structures that lead to sexual assault in those cases. Yes, you could argue that enablers and stuff like that are part of that problem, but that's not how it's going to play out in the press. It's going to be presented to the press like, look at these two weird famous people. They're famous and shitty. Aren't they famous and shitty? As opposed to, look at these two people who are enabling this person. This could be you. This monstrous thing is common, and it could be you. When you separate bad behavior by identity, it creates a problem where you may not be able to identify it. I can tell you personally from experience, I know other people who have, when their friends are in the spotlight for bad behavior, have been like, I don't believe it. It's hard for them to hold that person accountable, even when they've been talking a big game outside of it. And it's because they are people. They are susceptible to the same problematic system we are all in. I don't know. I'm making a nuanced point. Maybe it's lost. Very clearly what Mila and Ashton did is shitty. I'm just saying, don't fall into this messy train of looking up messy information and relishing the mess. Because when you take the humanity out of people's personal relationships, out of race and class ethics, out of the workplace environment, out of gender dynamics and sexual assault cases, you are left with less solutions on how to tackle these very real and sincere problems. And they become a circus as opposed to a real thing you gotta deal with. But of course, I'm trying to make a very nuanced opinion, which I don't know if is gonna get seen, but let me know what you think in the comments. Just to clarify, I am not at all defending Mila and Ashton here. No, they don't. No, it's a shitty move, guys. But anyway, that's my take on everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. We're gonna be back next week. I'm gonna be trying to do a couple more direct-to-camera videos, talking a little bit more. And I'm really excited because we're planning our first single release that's not Freestyle the News related or Find a Game related soon. And I'm in a big video game coming out very soon, and I'm excited to talk about that. But anyway, my name is Zaid, and I'll see y'all soon. Let's go!